Hey guys, it's Tim coming to the review of the 11th episode of Fox's The Gifted 3x1. This episode picks up with the Mutant Underground reeling from the events of the previous episode, with them basically being split down the middle about how they feel about Esme and her sisters, as well as how to proceed from here. Reed and Caitlin, feeling that the Underground is unsafe for their kids after how Esme played them, decide to leave the Underground and move forward with their original plan to escape to Mexico, despite protestation from Lorna and Andy. Meanwhile, Polaris' powers seem to be increasing with her pregnancy, and Trask Industries reveals a new weapon regarding their hounds that they developed after witnessing the combination of Andy and Lauren's powers. With this episode, it seems like they're going forward with a lot more direct connections to the X-Men, with Esme and her sisters being revealed to have the last name Frost, with there even being a mention to the Cuckoo last name that they share in the comics, as well as them moving forward with the whole Polaris dad angle. And while his name isn't directly stated in the episode, if her dad is Magneto in this continuity, then it means that he was a member of the Hellfire Club at some point. Which is admittedly odd considering his relationship with the Hellfire Club in the movie continuity, but I'd like to see where they're going with this. I feel like this episode had a lot of good dynamics in it. I especially like Marcos' relationship that's built up over time between him, Reed, and Caitlin, as well as the brief bit we see here between Clarice and Lauren. And I definitely like to see even more interactions like this in the future. It's definitely always been there, but for whatever reason it just clicked more in this episode with the time that passed. And a final note that I liked about this episode is that, while the conflict is still one between humans and mutants, at this point instead of having the two factions going up against each other of the Underground and Sentinel Services, we now essentially have four going up against each other, with the two main groups of Sentinel Services and the Underground acting as the lawful side of both conflicts, at least in terms of how they operate and what codes they have, and the Hellfire Club and Trask Industries being a more extreme example on opposite sides that are trying to sway the lawful part of their respective side to their way of thinking. And this creates a much more engaging dynamic, I feel. Overall, I give this episode an 8 out of 10. It's definitely my favorite episode of the season so far, and there's really not a lot of detracting elements from it. And as we push closer to the Season 1 finale, I'm more interested than ever in seeing what's going to happen. There are some things that detract from my interest, but that's more on a personal level, seeing as they're putting a more heavy focus on Lorna, and Lorna's my least favorite character on the show. But if you like her, then it's definitely not going to be as big of a hindrance to you as it is to me personally. But that'll do it for this review, guys, so let us know down in the comments what you guys thought of this episode. And if you're interested in hearing more reviews like this, feel free to click that subscribe button and the bell next to it to be immediately informed whenever a new video goes up. But until next time, this has been Tim from the Hybrid Network, signing out. Check out our Facebook and Twitter for our latest updates, our website for our latest articles and editorials, and donate to our Patreon if you'd like to see our content get better.